Hi, Hikin Jim here. You are looking at the new, or relatively new, Snow Peak Geo stove. Now, it's a really interesting, you'll just have to look at some pictures of it. It's a really interesting windscreen. I've got the lights out because I want you to see the flame. Now, the windscreen, the pot rests rest on top of the windscreen. So the windscreen are holding up the pot supports. So the windscreen is always, since the pot supports are on top of the windscreen is always going to be below the level of the pot. Typically you want your windscreen to extend up the sides of the pot. So the flame is actually, even though you've got a windscreen here, and a pretty good sized windscreen, it's actually kind of exposed. So let's turn on a fan. I've got a 8-inch fan over here to the right off screen, and I'm going to turn it on low now. There's low. So you see that the flame is getting quite a lot of effect. Now I'm going to turn it to medium. Now the flame's not going out and doesn't threaten to go out, but you're losing a lot of heat, okay? Now I'm going to turn it to high. Okay, so you can see, I think, that you're getting a lot of buffeting. If I put my hand over to the left side of the flame, I can feel heat. Whereas if I put it on the right side now, I just blocked it with my hand. Okay, so where? I'm blocking with my hand, take my hand away. Blocking with my hand. So now I'm going to put a secondary windscreen up. So when I put up the secondary windscreen, we should see, there we go. So now we're seeing some abatement in the wind, right? And the flames are going more or less straight up. Or, well, angled up the way they normally would. So really, even though you've got this big heavy windscreen with the Geo stove, and it is a really stable platform. If you want a cooking platform, if you're catching fairly large trout, let's say you're catching 30-centimeter long trout or something like that, I mean sizable trout, or you want to cook pancakes or something where you need a big pot, you're melting a lot of snow for a big group and you've got a 5-liter pot or a 6-liter pot. Okay, so this is going to be a really stable base for it, but you need the windscreen isn't adequate in terms of wind protection. So let's pull that away again. Okay, and you see what's happening? You're just losing a lot of the heat. You know, the flame does not go out. That's not the issue at all. It's just inefficient because the heat is getting blown away. Okay, so that's my report on the wind proofness, or lack thereof, of the Snow Peak Geo stove. I'm Hikin Jim. This has been another episode in Adventures in Stoving. Thanks for joining.